All right, a really competitive game, actually a Power 5 versus Group of 5 matchup late on Saturday night. We got Oregon State from the Pac-12 traveling to Fresno State. This line is right around a pick, seeing ones in either direction. It opened up Fresno State -1, but I am seeing some Oregon State -1s. The reality of it is when you're talking about a pick-'em type game, that matters less. You're really just picking who's going to win the game. But have seen a little bit of line move towards Oregon State. And total is right at 61, 61.5, depending on where you look. Full disclosure, Oregon State was a team that preseason, I sprinkled on them to win the Pac-12. I also played their over 6.5 wins. Got off to a great start to the season last week with a convincing win against Boise State. I mean, they were only 2.5-point favorites in that game, and they blew Boise State out of the water. So good start to the season for that season win total bet. This is a tough matchup, though. Fresno State is a team that lives and dies by beating Pac-12 opponents. They got back-to-back here coming up. They host Oregon State, obviously, here on Saturday, but then they go to USC next week. You know, if you remember last year, Jake Haener had a miraculous game at UCLA. I mean, Fresno State put every chip they had in the middle to win that game. And then, you know, I think they ended up dropping a few games in conference play that they shouldn't. Safe to say, these games mean a lot for Fresno State. So that's intriguing off the jump. The one thing that I don't like about Fresno State offensively is up front. It was a concern for me coming into the year, and they gave up 3 sacks in their season opener. Aside from that, though, Jake Haener, experienced guy, he's shown moxie in these kind of bigger games before. Their lead back is right around 5 yards per carry, give or take, so I like that. I think Oregon State is a much more complete team than you're given credit for. I like Chance Nolan as kind of a game manager type of quarterback. Think they got a good run game, even despite losing B.J. Baylor. I think their defense is good, but I mean, I could absolutely think I don't think they're so good as to where a guy like Jake Haener, who's proven that he can step up in the spot before, where I'm going to necessarily rule out that Jake Haener and this Fresno State offense with a ton of continuity could have some success in this one. The reality of it is, though, where I'm at betting college football, if you have concerns on the offensive line and I can't trust that unit, it's going to be hard for me to bet on you. Just kind of gotten burned by that way too many times. As good as Jake Haener is and as good as that offense could be, the reality of it is bad offensive line play can really take away and hinder an offense's potential. So that kind of keeps me off of Fresno State. The reality of it is, though, I have a financial investment on this game with that Oregon State over 6.5 wins. So I'll be rooting for Oregon State. I don't have a great feel on the total either because Oregon State is definitely a run-heavy team. But, I mean, Chance Nolan has proven that he can hit some shots in the play-action game. It'll be interesting to see how these two teams match up. A great game to watch, but this will not make my card. I've actually already released my best bets here for week 2. Got those out this morning here on Wednesday. I'm looking to have the rest of my card out by Thursday. The main place you can follow me is on Twitter at Fordham Betting. I'll also leave all of my own other information in the description below. One more thing, too, head over to proud90.com. They got all your golf apparel needs. You see this shirt right here. I know you've been staring at it the whole time. Head over to proud90.com, code Fordham at checkout. It's going to get you 15% off your order. All the other information will be in the description. Appreciate y'all watching the video. Like I said, Fresno State lives and dies by beating Pac-12 opponents. It'll be interesting to see if they can step up for this matchup. At the end of the day, this is a great game to watch, but not going to be a game that I'm going to play.